I think we're doing pretty well. We're talking. We have a thing called a telephone, so we're talking. But it's always better to talk in person. I want to see no nuclear weapon in Iran, and we're well on our way to making sure that happens.
We've had a discussion about.
We're back with our world lead. That was President Trump with Prime Minister Keir Starmer just moments ago at the G7 summit in Canada, talking about what it will take to end the fighting between Iran and Israel. Now, earlier today, the president told reporters he believes Iran would, quote, like to talk about de-escalating its conflict with Israel, noting that Iran, in his words, quote, not winning this war. Israel started attacking Iran's nuclear facilities and top military leaders on Friday, local time Thursday evening here in the U.S. The attacks have since expanded to include Iranian oil and other military facilities. The Iranians have responded by firing waves of ballistic missiles and drones at Israel, hitting, among other targets, Haifa and Tel Aviv. Now, these are among the day's most dramatic images. Israel hit Iranian state TV during a live broadcast. The Israeli military says the building housing Iran state TV studios was being used by Iranian armed forces under the guise of civilian activity, adding it sent an advance warning advising civilians to get out of the way. In Israel itself, at least 24 people have been killed and nearly 600 injured since the fighting started last week. CNN's Jeremy Diamond is in Tel Aviv, where shaken residents are taking cover, hearing explosions, then emerging to check the damage.
This is what surviving an Iranian ballistic missile attack looks like. Amid wrecked cars and scattered debris, this central Tel Aviv neighborhood engulfed in flames as rescuers arrive on the scene. For the third night in a row, Iranian ballistic missiles struck the Tel Aviv area. We arrived minutes later as people emerged, shaken but alive, from their bomb shelters. This man arrived distraught to inspect the damage to his shop. We came here and everything was destroyed, he tells me. After an hour-long wait, a boyfriend's anxious wait turns into a loving embrace.
Yeah, you can feel it. It goes through you.
Even inside their shelters, people here felt the power of the blast.
Like smoke, like a really strong. I had to cover my nose with a t-shirt.
And were overwhelmed by the smoke-filled air as they emerged. The shockwave broke windows and damaged homes blocks away from the impact. But at the epicenter, where rescue crews continue to pour in and out of the scene, it is another level of destruction altogether.
This is the devastation caused by an Iranian ballistic missile that struck this Tel Aviv neighborhood in the early hours of this morning. And you can see all around me what that looks like. These buildings that have been torn to shreds, vehicles wrecked from the missile.
At least 5 Iranian missiles penetrated Israeli air defenses, according to Israeli rescue services, killing 10 people on Sunday night. In Iran, a widening Israeli bombardment campaign driving people to flee the capital city, as jets strike not only military and nuclear facilities, but also economic targets and residential neighborhoods. More than 200 people have been killed in the Israeli strikes, according to the Iranian Health Ministry, which says a majority of the victims are civilians. I'm scared, says this woman whose home was damaged in a strike. My heart is pounding. I felt like my heart stopped.
And Phil, with no diplomatic off-ramp in sight, this deadly tit-for-tat between Israel and Iran seems likely to continue. The Israeli Prime Minister tonight saying that he believes Israel has already significantly set back Iran's nuclear program, saying that Israel is, quote, sending them back a very, very long time. He refused to elaborate, but he also made clear that Israel still has many more targets to strike in Iran. Phil?
Our thanks to CNN's Jeremy Diamond for that report. Joining us now is former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. Sir, appreciate your time. I believe you were heading to a bunker as we speak. Can you explain what's happening right now on the ground?
Yeah. What's happening is fairly standard. We get every night rockets being shot from Iran, and just now we got sirens. So I'm going with my family to the local shelter like all Israelis do, and we're going to be safe.
Can you, the cost-benefit clearly decided by Israeli leaders to take the initiative in starting these strikes. Are you surprised in any way by the scale or lack thereof in the Iranian response up to this point?
No, it's reasonable, and it's the decision is a correct decision because we're taking action now That's painful. 30 Israelis were killed, but we're taking short-term pain in order to prevent long-term destruction. If we didn't act, it wouldn't be regular ballistic missiles that we're going to see in 2 minutes here. It would be ballistic missiles with nuclear warheads.
The Prime Minister has laid out his scope in terms of the desired outcome here, which is elimination of any possibility of a nuclear program, but also elimination of Iran's ballistic missile capability. That short-term pain,
That's right.
How long does that last?
As long as it's necessary. The Israeli people are strong. We understand that this is just something we have to go through in order to remove this existential threat. Look, we have no issue with Iran. If Iran would stop wanting to destroy Israel, its leader says we're going to destroy Israel. They develop nuclear arms. They develop ballistic missiles. They stop all of this. We can have peace. We can have quiet. But unless they do that, we have to act. And this was more than the last moment. It's beyond the last moment. I mean, at this time, it's becoming fairly difficult to take out the entire nuclear program because they've already spread it across multiple locations.
That was actually what I want to ask you about. In terms of the goals set out by the Prime Minister, does the Israeli military have the capability to achieve those goals unilaterally?
We have meaningful capabilities. It's not going to be 100%, but think of it as an assembly line. And if you take out part of the assembly line, you've done a lot. But what we're doing right now is also peeling all their defenses of the regime itself because they're shooting all these missiles at us. So, even if it's not full removal of the nuclear program, it's the best we can do, and it's what we have to do.
I want to play something for you that President Trump said earlier today about Iran. Take a listen.
They'd like to talk, but they should have done that before. They have to make a deal, and it's painful for both parties, but I'd say Iran is not winning this war, and they should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late.
Do you believe that's an option at this point?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if there's a deal to be made right now in 2 minutes, if they agree to basically stop doing everything they can to destroy my country, my nation, this all goes away. What that means is dismantling the nuclear program, dismantling the ballistic missile factories, and stopping the terror. Just go carry on like any regular country, like Belgium or Italy, that don't go around trying to destroy other countries. So it's a very low threshold. That's all we're asking. We don't want to be destroyed. They want to destroy us. We cannot give in on this because we're not willing to go through a Holocaust again. Not this time.
There have been reports today about a potential plan to strike the Ayatollah directly. Is that something you think should happen?
It's a possibility. In order to achieve our three goals, there's many ways to do it. I wouldn't take it off the table, but there's a lot of other things that we're doing. We're, as I said, removing the defenses of Iran. So now we can hit the Iranian regime, the Iranian military, and the Iranian nuclear program. I want to make one point, though. The Iranian people are not our enemy. We respect the Iranian people. We know that they're under a horrible dictatorship. So this is not war between the Israeli people and the Iranian people. It's between Israel and this horrible regime.
Would you like to see President Trump commit to more active participation of U.S. forces?
Look, America's doing a lot already, helping us defend ourselves, giving us various capabilities. It's not ours to tell President Trump what to do. President Trump looks after America's national interest, not Israel's national interest. I will say, though, that you couldn't get a better deal than have Israel do this really tough job, this thankless job of removing this threat. You see, if there was an Israel around taking care of North Korea 30 years ago, you wouldn't have a nuclear North Korea. This time we're acting. So it's a pretty good deal for America. We're not asking for boots on the ground. We're paying the price. We're getting killed, but we'll do everything necessary. Our pilots are right now over Iran attacking those facilities. At the end of the day, it's President Trump's decision.
Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, appreciate your time. Please stay safe, sir. Thank you.
I'm going to go into the shelter right now. Bye-bye.